Hi guys, it's Liliana the Magnificent and welcome back to my secondary city, Beauxbatons. I'm super excited to be sharing an update on my new city here. In this video, I'm going to go over some of the tips that I've been using within this new city, and also in my second video, I'm going to talk about some of the struggles that I've been experiencing as well. First off, I just want to thank everybody who has been reaching out to me and saying that these kind of basic tutorial videos have been really helpful for them just starting out. You have no idea how excited that makes me. I really created these because it's such a nice example to have visuals. This game is so expansive, and I wish I would have had these when I was first starting. So I'm so happy that these are helpful, and I hope they continue to be as well. Along with that, please don't be afraid to reach out to me if there are specific aspects that you want me to go in more depth on, that you're maybe confused about. I am so willing to help in any way that I can. I absolutely love that I can do this. Let's jump right in, you guys. Just so you know, in this video, I'm going to be covering the tavern goods, a little bit on friends. I'm going to have a separate video specifically on that, but then also expansions. I'll have more in the part 2, but this is the first part of my update. So, this city that I'm working in right now is a little over 2 weeks old, and thus this tavern is also a little over 2 weeks old. But most important thing is to make sure that you're continuing to upgrade your tavern. First thing that I went after is unlocking more chairs. I now have 10 chairs in my tavern, but the more chairs you have, the more tavern silver that you will generate. Along with that, this tray right here also helps to generate more silver. So the more you upgrade, there's a higher chance that you'll just increase your collection as well. Something that I like to do that I feel is really important for the friends that visit me is making sure that you get this tablecloth upgraded. So what the tablecloth does is actually gives those people that visit you a chance of getting forge points. So very lucrative for them. Often if they're doing the same thing, there's a chance that you're going to get forge points from them as well. So a nice return. The second thing is, or I guess the last thing, is this floor around. This is the last thing that I focus on, but also very important to upgrade because when you're visiting taverns, it does give you a chance of increasing just your tavern silver when you visit them. So absolutely go after upgrading your tavern. Next, let's talk about goods. So right now in my city, you can see I have a vineyard, I have there it is, my lumber mill, and then I have 2 ebonies. I am working on getting my iron, but let's go into why I only have those ones within my city. So if we pop onto our continent map and we go back to Bronze Age, you will see that I am boosted in the lumber and boosted in wine. Within every era, you will only be boosted in 2 out of the 5 goods. Thus, these 2 should be the only goods that you are producing in your city from that era. Then if we move up to iron, you'll see that I am boosted in ebony and also boosted in my iron. So those will be the only 2 that I have in my city as well. So the rationale for how I kind of set this up initially was when I first was in Bronze Age, I had 2 vineyards going, and then I had 2 lumber mills going in my city. Now that I'm in Iron Age, I have 2 ebony, but I have still kept 1 lumber and 1 vineyard. And the reason why I still am producing those 2 goods is because I still need previous era goods. So you want to make sure that you're still increasing that supply. Now, of course, once I get iron unlocked, I'm going to have my 2 iron producing goods buildings right there. So I will have a lot of buildings in my city that are producing goods. In order to match that, you got to make sure that you have a lot of production buildings going for supplies because they do take quite a bit of supplies. So I did win this from the event, and I have been running it on this production of supplies because that's been really helpful. But you're probably wondering, well, Lil, you only have 4 kinds of goods in your city. How on earth do you get all the rest? Let me show you how. First off, do not build those other goods buildings that you are not boosted in your city. The reason is is in this 4-hour mark, you'll only get 2 goods, and in this 8-hour mark, you only get 4. That is not worth the time and effort to create and supply those when they are not boosted. So normally what I will do within a day is I will do 2 8-hour productions and 1 4-hour production, which means in one building I'm getting 25 of 1 good. Then you multiply that by 2 and you're getting 50 of 1 good a day. So let's look at the market, because that is where you will actually get the rest of your goods. So first off, I do want to mention, now granted my numbers are not super high and I only just started producing more iron age as of 2 nights ago, because I kind of forgot about goods until the event started and then I went, Oh, but anyway, kind of the rule of thumb that I operate under and that I encourage newbies is, before moving on to the next era, you want to have 1,000 of each one of these goods within your inventory. The reason why is because as you're moving up eras, you still need previous era goods in order to unlock things on your research tree. Also within Guild Expedition, if you're within a guild, and also within Guild Battlegrounds, you still need previous era. So super important to have those still. So if you have the 1,000, you don't have to go back and keep producing those within your city, which is taking up valuable space. Granted, yes, I know I moved on before I was at 1,000 in this Bronze Age, but I am sticking in this Bronze era and Iron era goods to create these 1,000s before I'm going to jump. So let's talk about how you create an offer, and I kind of have one as an example here. When you're creating an offer, I found that it's really helpful if you create bigger bang for your buck offers. So what that means is I'm going to give 50 and I'm going to get 50. This is a lot more lucrative than, let's say, somebody who does this? So they have a 10 iron and a 10 ebony. If I go and I peek at this, I have to spend 1 forge point in order to get these 10 ebony. Well, if I'm looking at that and I see an offer like this one down here that's a 50 for a 50, well, I'm going to go after the one that's a 50 for a 50 because I'm going to get more out of the exchange. So I found if you make these higher offers, people are more apt to take them quickly. So definitely go for bigger. Normally I'll sit around and I'll create my inventory a little bit higher so that I can make these higher trades, and then I will kind of divvy them out. Normally I try to make sure that I have about 200 of my ebony, and then what I'll do is I'll do 50 of the 3 that I'm not boosted in. So that would be, for me, I would do 50 cloth, 50 jewelry, and then 50 limestone, all from my 1 ebony. Now when I have iron, I'll do the same exact thing. I'll have 50 for cloth, 50 for jewelry, and 50 for limestone, but instead what I'm offering them is that iron. So you'll see just a nicer kind of turnaround if you have those bigger numbers. Now let's talk about some of these expansions. So my city might look a little bit bigger than yours, and that is because I have been going after expansions really hard, probably more so than I should have been because of the research tree, but it's been paying off. So expansions help just increase your city size, and you'll see all these kind of for sales down here. So what you can kind of peek. Now you can see there's 3 different ways to get expansions. There's the reward expansion. That's by using, diamond expansion, Lil Reed. That's by using your diamonds. Now I will disclaimer, I did use 3 of my diamonds, and that are 3 sets of my diamonds here. So it ended up being a 200, a 200, and then a 400, and I still have 1 400 left. And that was for this lovely little TOR right here. I wanted it, so I made space. And you absolutely don't have to do that, but I did have a bank kind of stocked up from my B world, so I didn't mind spending those on diamonds. And I will say to you guys, Diamonds should really only be used for expansions and for guild battlegrounds. Do not waste diamonds on, like, let's say this one here. There's a premium building here. Those go out of style, I guess you can say, so quickly when you move up to the next era that it is a waste of your diamonds if you're tearing them down, because you don't get the diamonds back. So use them on things like the diamond expansions. Then you're going to see something called reward expansions. You get these from your research tree and also from your map. And let me show this. This is a really helpful kind of link, but it'll show you, if we look at the diamond expansions, that you can pay for them with either coin or with diamonds. Once again, you guys, do not pay for them with diamonds here because you do have the coin option. Wait, save up your coins and use the coins. Don't waste those diamonds here. Save those diamonds for these diamond expansion only ones. Then there's also this victory expansion, and you'll see I'm already at 5K. So I have actually placed within my city, if we look down, I've placed 8 of these expansions within my city. I've done this because of my friend list, and I will have a video, like I said, linked more to how I figured out the friends that I have. But when you have friends that are so awesome and willing to let you take 5th on their great buildings, most of these people, that if you kind of go in the strategy that I did, they're self-donating and using a 1.9 thread. I was able to take 5th on these people's buildings for 10 forge points only. I lost 5 in the exchange, but I've already been able to use 4,000 medals, but even more if you kind of combine all of these. And I've been able to put out 8 expansions already. So I'm working on my 9th now, but that's really helpful. So the expansions you get only from medals, and medals are things that most primarily I get from taking spots on great buildings. Yes, you can get them from guild expedition, you can get them within your cycling, like for instance, right here, you can cycle. And you can do this. I do have a video, and I'll link that here, about cycling. It looks a little bit different because you're within Iron Age, but what you do is you abort. And I normally would use my forge points, but I only have 6 right now. So we're just going to keep aborting. You can actually see this in action. These are not even recurring, but now it's recurring. Those were just side quests, and I'm not going to use them because I don't have anybody to invite from anywhere else. But you're going to want to do on birthday. Oh, and I don't even have enough to show you. Dang. Okay, well, I'll just let it sit. But what you would do, I upgraded my roads. Guys, upgrading roads is ridiculous because they cost so many supplies. Wait, do I have enough? No. So either way, what you would do is you would cycle, but now I'll just let it sit because I'll wait till I have more supplies and then use it. But you cycle through and you can get to Fjord then, which is when I would collect all of these lovely little coins, and then you get back to the rally, which is when you use your forge points. But you get goods out of that, medals out of that, and also more supplies and coins, and forge point packets, which is really helpful. Sometimes even diamonds. Very rare, but it does happen. So last thing that I want to touch on is just that friend list. I will go into more depth on that, but hopefully everything was really helpful, you guys. Like I said, I am going to have a part 2 where I talk about some of the struggles that I'm undergoing right now, and also, let's see, I'm going to talk more about the great buildings too, and also GE and upgrading and things like that. So hopefully this was really helpful. Thanks for sticking along, you guys.